the Digital Dollar Project, a non-profit organization hired by the U.S. government to actually develop a digital dollar. A CBDC, a central bank digital currency, is inevitable for the United States. Over 100 countries, over half the world, is either implementing in a pilot program or considering how to implement a digital currency. This is something that's real, something we can't run away from. We need to address it, we need to face it, and we need to understand what the pros and cons are for this. All we're going to hear is pros on the media, but the cons are very draconian. We're going to take a look at that today in DeFi IoT. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever time you listen to this video. Look, I want to talk a little bit about the Digital Dollar Project and who they are. We've talked a lot lately about the CBDCs. You're hearing a lot out there about central bank digital currency. Yesterday I was with some friends and we were talking about it, and my friend said to me, he said, look, I'm not going to worry about it because I talked to a lot of people that are completely against that. So there's no way the government will implement that because we just won't accept that. And I agree with that. We're not going to accept it. Just like the people in Nigeria did not accept it. And they actually turned to Bitcoin. They turned to cryptocurrencies. So what did the government do? The government just cut off completely monetary or any type of a fiat currency, paper money. They cut it off. And so the people had to then start adopting, and what you heard recently is, hey, the new Nigeria digital currency, I don't remember the name of it, has actually escalated in its adoption because, I don't tell you the because they're obligated and forced to accept it. And that's what's going to come down. That was my response to my friend. You're right, we won't accept this on a voluntary basis. It hasn't been in its pilot programs accepted voluntarily outside of the government officials who want to implement it. Obviously, it's a control mechanism. Otherwise, why else would you need a digital currency? Now, they say they need to compete with the digital age going forward, the digital yuan, the gold-backed yuan, the gold yuan is being called now. I mean, you have some concerns there because recently you had Saudi Arabia pretty much commit, it's along with the other 13 OPEC nations, all 14 of them are committed to the BRICS nations now. The whole Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa economic trade bloc that's been developing over these years is now getting teeth and is now forming. So Brazil, China, and even Saudi Arabia and Iran, or Iraq, one of the two, they all came to an agreement a week ago, or this last week, which means they're going to use the digital yuan, the gold yuan, is what they're calling it, for the new petrodollar. That's what they're going to trade in gas. And they just made their first contract. It won't go into effect until 2025 when they have to pay on it. But the first sales of natural gas in the gold yuan were executed this last week. That means that when that takes place, that's going to be less dollars that's going to be circulating. That means the dollar, that's in 2025, by the way, will begin to collapse and lose value. What are we going to see in that then? We're going to see inflation. We're going to see more inflation. That's my point. What's going to come in to rescue us then is going to be the digital dollar, because the current dollar is not going to have the value to it anymore, the paper, right? Remember, the paper, our founding father stated clearly, and I don't remember who it was exactly, it might have even been Jefferson, said that paper is only the ghost of the real thing. Digital, which is the ghost of the ghost, is not even close to a real monetary policy or currency. Now, who are Digital Dollar Project? Who are they? This is a nonprofit organization, right? It was founded actually by the former director of the Chicago Commodities Board. And ironically, he worked under Donald Trump. But this just goes to show that all the people that Donald Trump were picking weren't necessarily the right people for the job. He's the founder of the Digital Dollar Project. He also was one who worked at eToro. He understands blockchain, and a lot of these people understand blockchain that work in this organization. So what I see and what I predict is going to happen is the digital dollar will roll out on blockchain. But let's not be confused. It's a centralized blockchain controlled by the central bank. Now, let's just go through here and read real quick here. I want to go through and just show you a few things. Here is the Digital Dollar Project's website. I'll put all this down below so you can look at it yourself as well. All the evidence is down below. The Digital Dollar Project is a non-profit organization created to encourage research and public discussion on potential advantages and challenges of a U.S. central bank digital currency, a CBDC, right? Or a digital dollar. The project is focused on convening private sector thought leaders. By the way, that's the World Economic Forum that we told you is very dangerous and want nothing more than to control us. This whole group of apparent elites, the Davos group, right? We've had other videos on that, and you can find other videos out there as well. So private sector thought leaders, okay, or stakeholders, that's who they're referring to in most cases. And propose possible models to support the public sector through pilot experimentation in working groups. Now, there are many pilot experimentations that they're working with right now, and I'll go into that a little bit with MIT, with UC Berkeley, etc., others, right? As well as you have SWIFT now just finished their cross-border payment settlement, digital cross-border payment settlement, like as in CBDCs. You have India that's launched now in supermarkets, their central bank digital currency. China started last year during the Olympics, and you have Russia rolling out, and you have, unfortunately, the Chinese yuan is gold-backed. The petro yuan is gold-backed. So there's going to be a large draw away from the U.S. dollar in the next couple of years. Here we go. And this is why they feel they need to compete. Now, what's this mean for cryptocurrencies? Stay tuned. The DDP, or the Digital Dollar Project, will identify options for potential CBDC, central bank digital currency solutions, to help enhance, here we go, monetary policy effectiveness. In other words, control. Okay, that's control. And financial stability. And that's what that means. That's control. Now, financial stability sounds good. And what they're doing now is coming out and saying cryptocurrency will not allow us to become a financially stable nation or world. So the movement now is to not coexist or regulate cryptocurrency. It's to banish cryptocurrencies. That's where things are going. Will they banish it? I don't think so, because we all want a free market economy. And people like myself and others will stand up for and defend that free market option. Right now, the only option we have is crypto. Certain cryptos, not all. Decentralized cryptos like Bitcoin. So this digital dollar project will continue to provide the need of scalability. What's scalability? Scalability means how fast and how secure things can actually function. Now, you've got this triangle, and if I remember correctly, triangle is something like transparency, scalability, speed, and security, right? You don't get all three. You get two of the three. And what's going to be the most focus here is not going to be necessarily my feelings on this now. You can put your comments down below, but and help me on that too. What with the third of the triangle that the CEO of Ethereum had talked about and mentioned many times. Put that comment down below. I want to get back to this. So you can't get all three in that triangle. So what you can get is you can get security and speed. You can get transparency. You can get two of the three, right? And most what we'll focus on will be more so your security and speed, right? The problem with security is, though, once you centralize it, it's insecure. If it's on a proof of work, in other words, just all that hash rate that burns up all the electricity, right, that all the governments are complaining about, that's secure. And that's why they complain about it, because when you have crypto like Bitcoin, they can't hack it. It's virtually unhackable. It's very, very difficult to hack it when you have more hash rate and more people generating that algorithm. That's a whole different video. So they'll work on scalability. In other words, how speed and how fast we get it, how reliable that is, okay? Security and privacy in the retail sector. That's us. The wholesale sector, wholesale and international payments, will be a different currency. That's going to be a different currency. That's what the proposal is right now, right? And integrate with existing financial infrastructure. Now, that doesn't mean that small banks, small community banks, so forth, will continue to exist as they are today. Just the opposite. Small community banks, the plan right now is eliminate them. They're rogue. They could go with crypto. They're outside of FDIC, etc. So those banks can be difficult to get a hold of in the United States of America. Now, I got other banks popping up around the world saying, hey, we'll go ahead and take this crypto. We'll trade crypto for fiat, etc., etc. Since the government took down these banks a couple weeks ago here in the U.S. that helped us there. I want to conclude this. Here's what the former chairman of the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the co-founder of Digital Dollar Project, J. Chris Giancarlo, says this: a digital dollar would help the future-proof of the greenback and allow individuals and global expertise to make payments in dollars irrespective of space and time. That's blockchain. We are launching the Digital Dollar Project to catalyze a digital tokenized U.S. currency that would coexist with other Federal Reserve liabilities and serve as a settlement medium to meet the demands of the new digital world and in a cheaper, faster, more inclusive global financial system. For them, cheaper, faster for them, not for us. It'll be much more expensive for us. Everything will be controlled. We'll be told what we can and can't do, and we'll be penalized and sanctioned over and over again because this is the model they're following, is China. Right? Now, okay, so you can go on, you can look at LinkedIn or go into Wikipedia about Christopher Giancarlo, J. Christopher Giancarlo, right? Fine. What I want to focus on here to finish is this. You go through here, digital dollar, October 20, 2021. Okay, October 20th, 2021. Jennifer Brooks Lassiter is named as executive director for the Digital Dollar Project. Now, let's just run this. So you're going to have this technology finance regulatory expert joins DDP leadership team to advocate DDP's mission to gather empirical evidence on the value of the U.S. digital dollar. She's now leading this out. Who is she? Well, this is interesting. About Jennifer. Okay, she's an entrepreneur, business leader, etc., etc., etc. She's addressed complex regulatory and technology issues. In addition to her current role as executive director of Digital Dollar Project, Jennifer serves on the World Economic Forum Digital Currency Governance Consortium. You see, this project is working directly with the government through the World Economic Forum about control of our currencies. This will implement, along with this, a digital ID and a digital passport, a carbon footprint passport, which will limit everything we do. A digital dollar is not good no matter what the press will tell you and what the governments will tell you in the state and on these global elected, non-elected leaders. We need to be careful of this digital dollar. It will take away our privacy completely. It has no real good upsides to it, though you're going to hear a lot of them. And everything going against crypto because crypto competes and gives us that option. You're going to hear a lot of FUD come out about crypto now as well. That's what I feel on it. What are your feelings down below? This is the evidence. I'll put these links down below. You look it up yourself, but it's real, and this is coming. We can't run from it. We can't hide from it. No matter how much we don't like it, it will be forced upon us, just like they did in Nigeria. It's the same thing. They'll do the same thing they did, just like they did the last 2 years. Whether you wanted that jab or didn't want the jab, you were forced to make choices, real hard choices. And you're going to be there again, too, with the whole digital rollout, as far as I'm concerned. DeFi IoT, please subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember, in chaos, we have opportunities.